Our security affairs editor Manoj Kumar Gupta getting us these details of how Jamat-E-Islami, Bangladesh, spreading massive anti-Hindu narrative in the country. Now, this is being spread across Bangladesh, and the Jamat-E-Islami, a banned terror group under Sheikh Hasina, the ban that was revoked by the Yunus-led government. Now, Jamaat is actually warning everyone, and they're wearing T-shirts all around there. They want to teach Bharat a lesson. They are acting against the Hindus who are also Bangladeshi citizens. So there is a dual attack that's happening. They want Hindus to leave the country, and they are being seen as being stopped from venturing into roads and also leading into highways. Also, the fact that Sufi shrines have also been damaged by Jamaat leaders in Qazipur. There are visuals of women who are seen crying because they're being denied access to markets, to the highways. This video has come from the Gopalganj district of Bangladesh. Hindu women have been stopped from going to markets. They've been threatened to also leave the country. More visuals coming through of how a Hindu principal was actually humiliated in broad daylight. He was made to wear a shoe garland right on the middle of the road. Also, sources from Dhaka have told CNN News 18 that Dhaka is keen to review and scrap a lot of the MOUs which they believe are not beneficial to them that were signed between the erstwhile Sheikh Hasina government and the Bharatiya government. Sources are saying that no official communication so far has come into the government of India on these MOUs from Bangladesh. This is the initial stage of the new government in Bangladesh, and the new government will have a different version when they evolve. The new government thinks Sheikh Hasina was close to India and did out of turn favor to them while signing these MOUs. Meanwhile, on the extradition of Sheikh Hasina, government sources are saying they'll consider handing over Sheikh Hasina only after officially receiving any such request. Meanwhile, so there is an anti-Hindu narrative and there is an anti-Bharat narrative. Now, the allegation is that Amnesty International is openly peddling lies against Bharat on the Bangladesh flood situation. Amnesty has said that the Farakka barrage and recent operations at the Gajaldoba barrage have led to severe flooding in Bangladesh, and these have been rubbished by the Global Human Rights Defense Group. Statements of the Amnesty International lack credible evidence and a bid to spread misinformation on water problems in Bangladesh. Such unfounded claims have potential to incite hatred and violence against Hindus. That's what is the position. Sushant Sareen stays on with us, Ambassador Rajiv Dogra with us, Major Gaurav Arya with us. But first, going across to Shraddhanand Seetal, Chairperson of the Global Human Rights Defense. Shraddhanand ji, namaste. You received an invitation from Amnesty asking you to speak about the artificial floods created by Bharat that has put Bangladesh into a flood-like situation. And you had a strong response to them too. Take us through that.
Yes, good evening and greetings from the Netherlands. Yes, definitely. We were surprised that international organization with such a knowledge fall in this trap by groups that is forcing any organization to say lies and to create anti-India sentiment in the world. And also, we are also surprised that even there is no any scientifically or any research done on this flooding. And it's surprisingly that in the West, what we see is this: we are just taking it like a cake, and we are eating it, and we are spreading this world. And we have sent the Amnesty International a request. Please provide it with evidence where you come to this conclusion that this flooding was created by Amnesty,
and this is despite the MEA actually fact-checking them. The MEA has put out very clearly what has actually happened, and this was a false narrative, Shraddhanand.
Absolutely, and we have spoken to experts in the Netherlands. As you know, the Netherlands has a huge knowledge on water management, and they said no. If you look at the weather of the past 10 days, then you can see that there is something else happening there. Even the dams were open, that will not make any difference. So it's unfortunately also want to include in there that we see that Hindus are what is happening in Bangladesh, that we have to fight to get the news here. Instead of, if you look at the news that coming from Gaza, it's more easy to distribute, but we have to explain to people that in 1971, there was one enemy, that was the Pakistani army. Now your enemy is your neighbor, your friend, anybody that is having something against the Hindus. And in fact, I try to explain to the Dutch people here also that the Hindus is not imported. The Hindus was living there for centuries. It was their homeland. It's an artificial created country that time by some government and also by the British. And in fact, we should, just like the Jewish is saying that the Jerusalem is from the Jewish because of, they say it's mentioned in the First Testament. What kind of proof we have to give the world that the Hindus in Bangladesh, it's their own land. It's not, they are not a new settlement.
True. You've also written a letter to France 24 in France for misreporting the situation in Bangladesh and how Hindus are being treated. Shadhananji, I'm just bringing in Ambassador Rajiv Dogra. So there are visuals of the Jamat-E-Islami Ambassador Rajiv Dogra wearing T-shirts which are anti-India and which is actually blaming Bharat for the floods.
Well, that is only one part of it. The fact is that when all this started with the removal of Sheikh Hasina, it was thought that, it's an internal issue. They thought she was autocratic. Now, after a new installed regime by army comes in, even though it is an illegal installation, things will settle down. After all, Muhammad Yunus has a certain name and a reputation, which he should hopefully live up to. But all that has not come through. The bubble has not gone. In fact, it has intensified in a very, very planned way, targeting Hindus, targeting India in multiple ways. After all, what has amnesty got to do with flooding? That's not expanded. And how can it have expertise on a thing which is far removed from its headquarters in London? So clearly, there are forces in Bangladesh and outside Bangladesh which are trying to use these developments to the disadvantage of India and to put India in the sort of category of a villain for everything connected with Bangladesh. So we have to be on guard 24/7 about the new developments. For example, they are putting India on the back foot on the issue of Sheikh Hasina. Why should India send Sheikh Hasina back? According to Indian laws, she has not done any crime, or she does not deserve to be sent back in any extradition treaty. Because extradition treaty also has a clause which gives India the leeway to keep Sheikh Hasina here. But much more than that, like Maldives, which had started India out slogans, Bangladesh is following the same example. So our worry, ongoing worry should be, which are the external forces behind it? Is it Pakistan, or is there some other country, a number of countries mixed with Pakistan?
Well, there are many who are pointing towards a West orchestrated Western collaboration, a deep state collaboration that's happening. Major Arya?
Two things. First of all, Anand, I'd like to comment on the floods. So this is not new. Whenever floods happen in Pakistan, it is India's fault. Whenever there is a drought in Pakistan, it is India's fault. And actually, floods have been happening every single year in Bangladesh, ever since I can remember. When I was a child, I would say that, I would always read in the newspapers that there is flooding happening in Bangladesh. So this is a bogey that they have picked up. And now, you see, this is whom we will blame. Now, very interestingly, you mentioned about foreign interference in Bangladesh and the regime change. And I had commented on it recently in one of the videos that it has some similarities, and I don't even know if that's true, but it seems to me that there are some similarities between what the Americans wanted from Imran Khan. He said absolutely not. And then about this St. Martin Island, or maybe a drone base, or maybe a military base in Bangladesh, or whatever they wanted. And she also said no, because 3 months back, she was the one saying that a white man came and met me and said that if you agree to give this portion of territory, then you can be safe and the elections will be looked after and post-elections would be looked after. That is number two. Number three, as far as the Jamaat saying that, Hindus are to blame, Jamaat has been doing it everywhere. They were the people who were in the forefront along with the Pakistan army during Operation Searchlight. They were identifying Bengali intellectuals that this guy teaches in a college, he's a professor, kill him. This man is a school teacher, this man is a music teacher, this man is an influencer, kill them. That is how Operation Searchlight happened. They were hand in glove with the Pakistan army, and this is the same mindset. And the last final point that I want to give, Anand, is, about Bangladesh saying these MOUs we'll have to, relook at because Sheikh Hasina favored India apparently. That makes Bangladesh look like a basket case. because these are sovereign guarantees, at least to my mind, these are sovereign guarantees. And it does not matter who's in power. Tomorrow, let us say if Dr. Manmohan Singh, during his government, some contracts were given out, would Prime Minister Modi say that, no, I don't believe in all this, let's cancel? It doesn't work like that.
Yeah, you don't backtrack on a sovereign guarantee.
Yes, absolutely.
Sushantji, I've run out of time. My sincere apologies. I can't take your comments now, but with the assurance that we'll speak on this very soon and you'll be back with us here on The Right Stand. So that is due on us on the show. Thank you very, very much, gentlemen. Thank you very, very much. Have to wind up on that note. Thank you. Brass Tacks with Zaka up next.